am Chaco Suzuki, and I am with Realself TV down in San Diego with America's top dermatologists, including Dr. David Amron. Hello.
Hello, Chaco.
How are you, and what's your specialty? Where do you practice?
So I'm a dermatologic surgeon, so that's a dermatologist who focuses on surgical and cosmetic procedures, primarily liposuctions, basically most of my practice for 20 years.
Let's talk about body contouring and Ultrashape. Can you tell me what is it, what does it do, what do women and men and our viewers need to know about it?
Okay, so Ultrashape is really the latest non-invasive or non-surgical way of destroying fat. And it really works in a very specific way. It's really kind of smart bombing the fat cells and destroying them. And it's got some advantages. It's really painless as opposed to some other technologies. And it's more versatile, and it's quite effective. And I use my practice in very specific ways. But I really want to get across that, this whole thing is about proportioning of the body and proper evaluation of the patients.
Okay, that's great. So how would you use Ultrashape then for something like muffin top or, saddlebags? Is that the best machine to use, or what are the options?
Okay, so I think that Ultrashape is about targeting smaller areas, one or two areas, in really somebody who does not want to do surgery. I've got to say that it's a great technology, but it's not going to compare to well-done liposuction. And again, it's about targeting your stubborn, disproportionate areas and creating balanced proportion for the patient.
So who makes a good candidate for this kind of treatment? And how much weight are we talking about? Like if you're looking at your body.
Okay, so again, I want to make clear that weight and being overweight and being out of proportion are two separate things.
Good distinction.
The weight thing and the muscle toning thing is the patient's responsibility. The targeting disproportion, whether it's surgically or non-surgically, is my responsibility to create that balanced proportion. So, Ultrashape's good for somebody, again, who does not want to do surgery, who wants, mild to moderate improvement, and that's it.
And what about downtime? Any downtime with Ultrashape?
There's no downtime, there's no pain with it. You're out and about right after the procedure. It takes about an hour to do. You usually do 2 or 3 procedures 2 weeks apart. You see results as quickly as 2 weeks.
And with the technology, what is it using? There's radio frequency, there's heat, there's cold. Ultrashape is?
Yeah, so it's using non-thermal ultrasonic energy to specifically go into the fat layer and destroy fat cells.
And how long do results last from Ultrashape?
Another good question. So, you are destroying fat tissue. It's sort of like liposuction, not as complete, certainly. So the results, whatever fat you are destroying, is really permanent. And so it is a permanent reduction of the fat. Now, if somebody gains weight or is out of shape, those areas can get full, but the fat is not going to come back. And that brings up a very, very important point. It's got to be taken very seriously in terms of balance and proportion, because we now have the power to destroy fat cells non-surgically, also like liposuction. And if you don't approach it that way, you can create disproportion. The fat can go to other areas. And people hear that a lot. They get liposuction done, the fat goes to other areas. That's because the surgeon was not approaching it from a standpoint of balance and proportion, things I talked about. And that same thing needs to go on with non-surgical stuff. That's why the evaluation by a person who understands this is very important.
And what questions do you think it would be helpful for our viewers to be armed with when they go in asking about this procedure? Because a lot of them do ask about weight gain and where it's going to end up.
Okay, so the one thing I would say to the viewer is, do your due diligence, learn, understand things. Don't just go in only asking for one particular thing. Go into a doctor who you trust, who understands this, and ask them what they think. Are they a good candidate for either liposuction or non-surgical fat reduction? And get guided by a good consultation. I mean, get out of the mentality of I want to do exactly that. Get guided by the surgeon in terms of what is best for you individually, where your money is best spent. I got to emphasize that. I mean, things, it's all about targeted care and targeted value, whether it's surgical and even non-surgical, because this non-surgical stuff is great, but it can get expensive, and you can waste your money if you're not a candidate. And so be careful about being sold to by places and specials and promotions and this and that. I mean, get guided by somebody.
Okay, great. And we're talking board certified.
We're talking board certified, and ideally, past that, board certified by somebody who ideally understands it very, very well. I would say somebody who's does a lot of liposuction, and that's an important thing. I think if they don't do liposuction and they're trying to sell you on some of this stuff, they're not going to understand the area very well. So that's an important thing too. Board certified by somebody who does a lot of liposuction, understands balance and proportion well.
Great. Thank you for all that guidance. It was really great.
You were really good. I was very impressed with your questions. Truly.
Thank you so much. And if you'd like to learn more about Dr. David Amron, you can check him out on his realself.com profile. Thanks again.
Thanks for listening.
And I am here with America's top dermatologists, including Dr. Bill Coleman. Could you tell me what your specialty is and where you practice?
I'm a dermatologist and I practice in New Orleans, Louisiana.
I have always wanted to go to New Orleans.
One of the great cities.
And what's your specialty?
Dermatologic surgery, especially cosmetic dermatologic surgery.
Let's talk about non-invasive body contouring, specifically Ultrashape. Can you tell me how Ultrashape is different from other forms of non-invasive body contouring?
Yeah, Ultrashape is completely unique as opposed to, for instance, methods of using cold to destroy fat.
Yes.
This uses sound, actually, ultrasound. So it shakes up the fat, makes little holes in them, and allows the fat cells to die and be processed by the body.
So what is best, heat, cold, or ultrasound? What's most effective?
Well, the newest thing is sound, and that's what Ultrashape is. And nobody's ever done a head-to-head comparison between these, but I've used all the different instruments, been involved with Ultrashape for a number of years and doing research for them. And this is a unique way where your body does not have to match the machine, as in some cases, but the machine actually customizes and matches your body.
So what exactly happens with the ultrasound? Does it destroy the fat cells? What happens in layman's terms?
It destroys the fat cells completely, so they're permanently gone. So you're always better off having had this done.
Okay, and when they're destroyed, does that mean that they'll pass, or they're like, what's the process afterwards? What happens?
Well, they basically are dissolved by the body, cleared out by the circulation. Your body has an amazing capacity to get rid of fat, like after you eat a Big Mac or something. Just process it right out of your body.
Who makes a good candidate for Ultrashape? Is it something where you're like 10 to 20 pounds overweight, or is it a weight loss tool?
It's nothing to do with weight, because weight can so often have to do with muscularity, build, that sort of thing. This is for areas of localized fat. So basically, if you have an inch to pinch somewhere and you want to reduce that, this is a way to do it.
Okay, so an inch to pinch is a great way to see if you're the right candidate. And as far as time off, is this something I could come in and do during lunch or over the weekend, or is it something that needs a little bit of downtime?
Really almost no downtime. You could literally do it at lunch and you could go out to dinner that night.
Oh my God, well that's exciting. And how many sessions typically does somebody need? Is it a one-time thing or how many?
This is a 3-time treatment, and so, but the treatments can be done very close to each other. So our patients come in on day 1, day 14, day 28, and they're done.
Okay, and what is when do you need to go further than non-invasive in terms of body contouring? How do you know?
Well, if a person comes in to see us, we try to guide them through all the different possibilities, and there are all sorts of methods out there. I, for instance, have over 30 years of experience doing liposuction, and so we are able to guide patients as to whether or not they're candidates for non-invasive or using the new methods of liposuction, which are kind of like going to the dentist. I mean, basically the next day you're on your feet again. I've had a patient fly to Singapore the day after we did her.
Wow, okay. And where are the areas that you can use Ultrashape versus liposuction? Are they the same or?
Not quite the same. You can use liposuction anywhere on the body that you have excess fat, from the face to the feet, basically.
Oh, wow.
Whereas Ultrashape all the research was done around the abdomen and the flanks, but it can also be used on the thighs, inner and outer.
And do you see FDA approval coming for other areas of the body in the near future for Ultrashape?
I really do. The technology's just been approved, so it took a while to get here, and now the company's trying to enhance the device and make it better for all of us.
Aside from Ultrashape, what other things are you super excited about in terms of body contouring? What's coming that consumers should know about?
Well, the other one that's very exciting is called Selfina, and this is a brand new one that is just been FDA approved this year, and this is an actual treatment for cellulite that works. And it involves little cuts up under the cellulite dimples, which may seem frightening, but people are sitting down in chairs the next day, a little tiny bit bruised perhaps, but this has had 100% improvement of cellulite in the buttocks area, which is where it was studied, but 100% improvement of cellulite dimples, where you just basically are erasing them with this device.
Oh, wow. Okay, so women should be looking out for Selfina.
Correct.
With FDA approval.
Yep.
All right. Great. Thank you so much, Dr. Coleman, for taking the time to speak with me. I love it. If you would like to know more about Dr. Coleman, be sure to check out his profile on realself.com. We are down in San Diego with America's top dermatologists, including Dr. Jason Amer.
Nice to meet you. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Having a great day.
Could you share with us your specialty and where you practice?
Yeah, I practice in Beverly Hills. I'm a dermatologic surgeon. I specialize specifically in body contouring, liposuction, skin tightening, and cellulite reduction. And I do a lot with lasers and fillers.
And he had a really great night last night, so his voice.
I did. I'm talking to way too many people at this conference because it's so much fun.
Let's talk about non-invasive body contouring and Ultrashape. What is it, and what's going to happen if I go to see you to get it done?
Sure. Well, you're going to come to see me and you're going to love your body. That's the first thing. It will be no pain and no downtime, which is amazing. It's the newest technology in non-invasive fat removal. What it does is it uses ultrasound in a very precise way to target localized areas of fat without any inflammation, without any pain, without any downtime. So you come in, the procedure is you pick the area, we do the treatment with the ultrasound, you don't feel anything, and in about 30 to 45 minutes later, the area is done. You go on your day as it's a normal routine, and then 2 weeks later, you're down usually about a half an inch or an inch in one treatment.
Okay, where does the fat go?
Everyone asks me that. The fat gets almost like a tornado. It goes in there and it shakes up the fat. The fat cells sort of wind around, and then the body just removes them naturally through the liver. They've done a lot of studies on it. It is not affected in the blood, and it does not increase your cholesterol. It is extremely safe.
Let's talk about the technology. So how is ultrasound different than like heat, cold, radio frequency, et cetera, et cetera?
So all the companies have great devices, and what they do specifically is target fat. Now in this case, this is a mechanical disruption of fat. The ultrasound goes in, it creates sound waves that break apart the fat, and then the fat without any inflammation gets whisked away by the body. In the other cases, they use temperature, usually cold or heat, to sort of inflame the fat, and then the body has to clean up the inflammation, and that's why it takes about 3 months to get the results. And you have some pain, you have some downtime, you have some swelling. So the difference is this is a mechanical disruption, and those are a temperature-related disruption. But they all work.
And what areas of the body can Ultrashape treat?
So right now it's approved in the United States for circumferential reduction of the abdomen, so basically stomach and anterior love handles. But off-label, many people are using it for areas that you can at least feel the fat, the flank area, the arm area, buttock area. I do a lot for lifting of the buttock and reduction of size, hip area. You want to just be careful in areas very thin, like the neck.
And is it a handheld device, or what should I expect you're going to be doing?
Yeah, everybody thinks they're coming into a space station when they come into the room, because it's a big device with a camera on it. You sit there, the camera gives a three-dimensional view of what the fat area looks like, which is very cool. It's very modern and up-to-date. It's sleek. But you have a handle piece that the camera recognizes, and that's used almost like a game, like a video game, to control and zap every area of fat, basically.
And what are you most excited about with Ultrashape?
I love that you can get a result in 2 weeks, which you can't get with basically any other device. There's no pain, and it's really easy to do. For me specifically, since I do a lot of body contouring, a liposuction, I see a lot of complications from other procedures, and this one specifically has no risk of complication, and I can actually use it to revise other people's complications.
Great. All right. So much helpful information. Thank you so much, Dr. Emmer. And if you would like to learn more about him, you can visit him on his realself.com profile. Thanks again.
Thank you. I hope you do.
I'm here with America's best dermatologists, including Dr. Michael Gold. Could you tell me what your specialty is and where you practice?
So I'm a dermatologist in Nashville, Tennessee.
And what is your specialty, Dr. Gold?
I'm a dermatologist, and I do everything from general dermatology and medical dermatology to all the different cosmetic, lasers, fillers, Botoxes, anything related to any energy-based device. And we not only do the treatments, but we do all the clinical research too.
Oh, wow. All right, well, let's talk about devices. Let's talk about non-invasive body contouring. Can you tell us, what are you most excited about right now in terms of technology?
So there's a bunch right now. So I think we've come a long way in the body contouring and the skin tightening, making fat go away. And what we're seeing is that some of the devices are moving to the top. They're more popular, at least where I live, and we'll start with Ultrashape, okay, which I think you've talked about a little. But Ultrashape is this, it's focused ultrasound, and it's able to penetrate deep into the skin where we can actually break up the fat, and it's penetrated into the fat. And if you do this in conjunction with other things, such as, in our case, we use what's called Bellus Ultrashape 3, or we use something pretty brand new called the Zimmer Z-Wave, which is a shock therapy. It helps the Ultrashape work better. So you'll hear a lot about Ultrashape in this market and around the country, and it's a great device, and it works, painlessly to reduce fat in people that are not obese. So if you have pockets of fat, especially the stomach, but you can actually do the love handles and other areas if you know what you're doing. But it works even better if you add things to it. So if you take a device which is it's like the Veloshape, which is a radio frequency device, or the Z-Wave, which is it's basically a shock device, acoustic shock wave device, you can actually pound in the ultrasound even better. So the combination is sort of where it's going. And if you understand anything about it, one device is great, but adding two things to it, makes it even better. And so that's sort of what our patients are getting now, and the results have been pretty impressive.
Well, I love this hybrid approach to body contouring. We haven't heard that before, so that's fantastic.
Yeah, but so again, one thing works, but if you have ways to make things better, that's really what we're looking for. So we do these additional things to give us an added benefit for our patient.
Great. Well, thank you so much. That's a super helpful trend report, and we will speak with you soon. This is Dr. Michael Gold. To find out more about him, you can check out his profile on realself.com. Thanks so much, and we'll see you again. I'm here with America's top dermatologists, including Dr. Bruce Katz. Welcome.
Pleasure. Nice to be here.
Could you tell us your specialty and where you practice?
I'm a dermatologist and specialize really mostly in cosmetic and laser surgery, and I'm in Midtown Manhattan, New York City.
Best city in the world, I hear.
The greatest city in the world.
Let's talk about Ultrashape. What is it, and how has it changed over the years?
Ultrashape is really the newest technology for non-invasive fat removal. It was actually just FDA approved a few months ago, and it is extremely hot.
And what version are we on of Ultrashape now? Is it the newest version, and how is it different?
Well, this is the first version, just the FDA approval for the United States. First time it's in the United States now. Absolutely.
Oh, okay. And has it been used outside of the United States and been approved in other countries?
It has been used in Europe for several years, but with the new modifications, it's really doing extremely well.
And non-invasive is just such a huge trend. We're going to see more and more of this coming over the years. How is Ultrashape different for non-invasive body contouring versus other things like cool sculpting or, Veloshape?
Well, cool sculpting was the first one where it freezes the fat, and then there's another technology, ultrasound, where it heats the fat. But Ultrashape actually does it without heating or cooling. So there's no pain, there's no discomfort, there's no real downtime, you don't have any swelling, you don't have the numb sensation like you would do with the other technologies. So it's really a major advance in non-invasive fat removal.
And what are the risks associated with this treatment? Are there any?
It's very interesting. We've not seen one significant side effect from the technology at all. People walk out, they go right back to the office, go back to their daily activities with no downtime.
In terms of body contouring and results, how much of a result will you see? Is it in inches? Is it in fat reduction? What does it do exactly?
Well, it really varies in terms of what kind of response you see. Most people will see a result usually within 2 weeks, and it gradually gets better after that.
And is this a one treatment deal, or is it usually a few treatments? And what's the average number of treatments?
Well, with Ultrashape, we usually suggest 3 treatments. Some people can get by with 2, but they come in every 2 weeks and it takes about 40 minutes. Again, no pain, no downtime, and they go right back to work.
And who makes the best candidate for this treatment? Is it someone who is trying to kickstart their weight loss, or is there someone, could you describe what the ideal patient looks like?
Really, the ideal patient is someone who's really not grossly overweight. Most people we see at our office in New York are they have little, puffs here and there. They work out regularly. They have good diets, but they can't get rid of their abdomen or their love handles or a little bit on the thighs. And they really are the best candidates.
And what are the target areas, speaking of the love handles and the thighs? Are there other areas of the body that you can use Ultrashape?
Well, ultimately, we should be able to use it on the arms, around the neck, other areas of the body, but it's really only been FDA approved so far for the abdomen.
Okay, great. And can you tell us an average price per session for this? A lot of our viewers will be wondering about cost.
The price certainly varies throughout the country, but I'd say it varies from $1,200 to $1,400 per session. And if people buy a package, it's probably somewhat less.
And how do they go about finding the right doctor? What should they look for when they're shopping for this?
They really should ask that the doctor they're seeing is a board-certified dermatologist, a member of the American Society for Dermatologic Surgery, and has experience with body contouring.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much for all that information on Ultrashape. Super excited about it. And if you'd like to learn more about Dr. Katz, you can go to his profile on realself.com. Thank you so much.
Pleasure. Nice to be here.